He carries on finally by saying, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, oh you. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, me. He says, what's the daleel? The Imam says, within the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah Maryam that when Maryam salamullahi alayha brought Jesus, how old was he? He was a week old, 10 days at most. He brought him forward towards the people. The people criticized Maryam salamullahi alayha. They said, your father was a good man. Your mother was a good woman. What is this act that you have committed where you've brought a child with no husband? At that moment, they say that Nabi Isa alayhi salam spoke from the cradle and he said, what? I am the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I atani al-kitab and I have brought you a book. So Amir al-Mu'mineen says, oh Sa'sa, this was Nabi Isa at what? 10 days old. Let's go back to when I was 3 days old. He was 10. Let's go back to when I was 3. He says, I came into this world. I didn't open my eyes for 3 days. Rasulullah held me for the first time. When the Prophet looked at me, I opened my eyes for the first time. Nabuwa looked at Imama. Imama smiled at Nabuwa. At that moment, Rasulullah would say, Ya Ali, speak to me. Amir al-Mu'mineen would say, Ya Rasulullah, shall I speak from the Tawrat? Shall I speak from the Zabur? Shall I speak from the Injil? The Prophet says, no, Ali, these books were revealed to prophets before me. Then he says, oh Ali, recite for me the Quran that is going to be revealed to me. The Quran had not come to the Prophet at this age. The Prophet was what? 30 years old. The Quran came when? When he was 40. 10 years before revelation. The Prophet is saying, oh Ali, speak to me about the Quran. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Kad aflaha al-mu'minun. Indeed, the believers are successful. The Prophet says, Kad aflaha al-mu'minun bika ya Ali. The believers are successful. Why? Because of you, ya Ali. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, because of you, Ya Ali. Then he says, when Isa alayhi salam was coming into this world, and the hadith will finish here. When Isa alayhi salam was coming into this world, what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, oh Maryam, this is Baytul Muqaddas. This is a holy place. This is not a place of giving birth. I want you to remove yourself away from here. Then Amir al-Mu'mineen says, oh Sa'sa, when my mother Fatima binti Asad salamullahi alayha was approaching the Khana-e-Kaaba and she was doing the tawaf, not only did Allah say, go away, but he said, oh Fatima, come towards the Kaaba. And how did Allah invite her? He cracked open the walls of the Kaaba to invite my mother inside. Therefore, I am greater than Isa ibn Maryam.